A pleasant welcome to all. Now we are going to study about Linux system. Video lecture and e-content created by R.D.Sivakumar, MSc MPhil MTech, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Assistant Professor and Head Department of MCom CA, INR Janaki Mall College, Sivagasi. Mobile 09944042243. Email sivamscCSIT@gmail.com. Website www.rdsivakumar.blogspot.in. Linux definition. Linux is in simplest terms an operating system. It is a software of a computer that enables application and the computer operator to access the devices on the computer to perform desired function. The operating system relays instruction from an application to, for instance, the computer's processor. History of Linux. Unix. The Unix operating system was conceived and implemented in 1969 at AD&T Bell's laboratory in the United States by Ken Thompson, Dennis Ritchie, Douglas McElroy and Joe Osana. It was first released in 1971 and initially was written entirely in assembly language. GNU. The GNU project, started in 1983 by Richard Stallman, had the goal of creating a complete Unix compatible software system composed entirely of free software. History of Linux. Minix. Minix is an inexpensive minimal Unix-like operating system designed for education in computer science, written in Andrews S. Dannenbaum. Starting with version 3 in 2005, Minix became free and was redesigned for serious use. Free OS. Linux was originally developed as a free operating system for Intel x86 based personal computers. It has since been ported to more computer hardware platforms than any other operating system. Components of Linux OS. A bootloader, for example GNU, GRUB or LILO. An init program. This is the first process launched by the Linux kernel and is at the root of the process tree. Software libraries which contain code which can be used by running processes. User interface programs such as command shells or windowing environments. Parts of Linux OS. The kernel handles memory management, input and output requests, and program scheduling. The shell and graphical user interfaces GUI. Basic Unix shells provides a command line interface which allows the user to type in commands. The built-in system utilities or programs that allow a user to perform tasks which involve complex actions. Application software and utilities. They are additional programs that are bundled with the OS distribution or available separately. These can range from additional or different versions of basic utilities to full-scale commercial application. And this is a structure of Linux OS. Unix file system. Linux runs. Linux also runs an embedded system. Embedded system is a devices where the operating system is typically built into the firmware and highly tailored to the system, such as mobile phones, tablet computers, network routers, building automation controllers, televisions and video game consoles. The Android system in wide use on mobile devices is built on the Linux kernel. Advantages. Linux is a free open source operating system. It is easy to use and almost all applications included in Windows. There have been alternatives in Linux. Security is more superior than Windows. Linux is relatively stable. Security in line with the cost. The security aspects of Linux is much stronger than that of Windows. Disadvantages. The hardware support from certain vendors and not too good to Linux. The installation process of the software applications that is not as easy as in Windows. For the system administrators who are not familiar with Unix-like systems, inevitably have to learn more about this. Thank you.